Hello again, everyone. Ambassador Terry here with another What Are You Doing interview special. And my guest this week is another great guest, Thomas Juli. Thomas, glad to have you.
Well, Ambassador Terry, thank you for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be your pleasure too, because here comes the famous question. Thomas Juli, what are you doing?
Well, that's a, I like it, the simple question, and you can give like a complex answer. But okay, what am I doing? Let's talk about the profession. I'm a human business architect. Now, what does a human business architect do? And actually, am I doing with my company, Human Business Labs? What we are doing is we help companies and organizations become more human in the age of AI. Now you think like, what do you mean by becoming more human? Well, maybe it's in order to understand this, you have to say, okay, what are they right now? Or what is it that we see in a lot of companies and organizations? What we see is they're more like mechanical machines, engineered, like lifeless, soulless. And I'm not judging because like, this terroristic view, handling like a company like as if it were a machine, has really benefited us a great deal. I mean, it's like for more than 100 years. The thing is, this works very well when you can more or less predict the future, when you can say plan 5 or 10 years into the future. In today's world, where it's like where we have this so-called VUCA world, which is like rapidly changing, well, can you come up with a 5 years plan? I mean, yes, you can, but it's the likelihood that you have to change it, it's very high. I mean, basically, it's like, yeah, it's an idea, but it's unlikely that actually will come to pass. So what can you do? And what kind of orientation do you have? And we're saying, also we in this case, my company and I, we say, well, the critical success factor in the age of AI is not so much technology, it's about us humans. So you can ask the WTF question. In this case, WTF stands for what's the future? And you can come up with some answers. But the thing is, like when you ask what's the future, you always react because you don't know what the future will bring. But whatever the future does bring, okay, react. Or how about if we ask the question, how do we want to live? How do we want to work? Because this actually makes us change agents. Now, people may say, okay, this is cool. Okay, then I ask, like, how do you want to live? Well, a lot of people are overwhelmed by this very simple question, just like with your question, what are you doing? Why? Because we first have to know actually what is it that we want and who is actually we. Now, in traditional business, so traditionally, we have been raised as becoming functioning resources, HR, human resources. Well, if we were a resource, we have to compete with other resources such as AI. I think we have already lost that war if we just limit ourselves to being a resource. However, we're not a thing. We are nothing. And AI is everything. It's a thing. The other thing is a being. So why is it so difficult for us to being more human? And bringing this element into business like can change the whole landscape. Now, to give you a concrete example, you can say AI will take over some routine jobs. You can eliminate all of these jobs. Okay, fine. But think about the following that like how much time do we spend on routine, bureaucratic, I should say, stupid jobs day in, day out that rob us valuable time we need or we could use to being creative, to connect with other people, and to do some critical thinking. Now, with AI taking over some of these routine jobs, hey, cool, we have more space, we have more time for creativity and connecting with people, provided whoever is in charge gives us this space. Because if you say AI is only about efficiency gains, then you can work more and more and more and more. Well, if that were the case, that would basically be proof that people are still being treated as machines. And then sooner or later, they either burned out or it's like, they just like, that's not the way it should be. But if we create and hold the space to be more creative, to learn from each other, to actually encourage each other to make mistakes in order to learn, I think this would be a completely different atmosphere. So
Agreed.
what are we doing concretely at Human Business Labs? Human Business Labs is a project incubator. As a matter of fact, it's the world's first project incubator. So we do not incubate businesses, we incubate projects. So we start with an idea or a question or challenge, and then within 2 days to 6 weeks, we, together with an assembled team from the customer, we incubate or develop projects that make a huge impact, that are focused on generating value for people, by people, and human business projects. And so at the end of this incubation period, you have a project proposal. The sponsor can say, yeah, well, let's do it, or maybe I don't want it, that's fine. But the end product is a project proposal the company or the organization can then implement. Okay. And not just any, again, it's a human business project, not just the output, but actually also experience what does it mean to be working in a human business environment. So that's the one thing.
That's a lot of things. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you this is going to be good, and you're going to want to reach out to Thomas Juli. He's on. He has a great profile on LinkedIn, and reach out and have a discussion with him because his concept. I know it works very, very well because he speaks my language. So thanks, Thomas, for stopping in. This was terrific.
Thank you.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. Hello, I'm Ambassador Terry. Let's talk soon.